Okay, Michelle, how about you go next?
Hi everyone, so I'm Michelle and I live in wonderful Melbourne. I don't know how wonderful it is at the moment, but yes, so I'm in Melbourne. I am a mindset and manifestation coach, and really what I love to do is actually help people that are trying to leave their 9-to-5 job. So a few years ago, I was going through a really bad stage at work where I was being bullied by my boss and basically lost who I was, and I really want to help people find their spark back and really rediscover what it is that they're passionate about and find ways that they can actually leave their 9-to-5 and do the things that they really want to do. And I've always been into the spiritual side of things. I used to have a business running or doing lots of psychic spiritual events and selling books, crystals, cards, all that kind of thing. And through my kind of crisis stage, I really found that I was helping a lot of people more with the mindset sort of side of things and really helping people shift their perspective. And I guess that's what really drew me then to you as well. I think I joined with the B School. It would have been maybe around 2019 sort of time. And again, I think I met you as well for the first time at Leonie's conference in Canberra. So that's about me. So yes.
Here's where I want us to start. Okay, if we talk about mateship and friendliness and being down to earth as one of our unofficial values, I had an epiphany about 3 years ago, and I want to hear for anyone who wants to speak to this, but I think everyone will. I realized that my mateship extended to my pricing, because we literally say mates rates in Australia. So I was thinking, it's okay for me to charge Americans, but it's not okay for me to charge Australians because they're my mates, they're my family. And then I realized it started extending. It extended to New Zealand, and then it started extending to the UK, because I was like, but I come from the UK like a couple of generations back, so they're kind of my family too. So it's not very matey of me. It's not mateship to charge my friends and family. And I had to really work on that it's okay for me to charge Australians. It's okay for me to market to Australians. And especially since I charge in US dollars, it was like a double whammy of like, oh my God, I'm not allowed to charge my mates and I'm not allowed to charge them US dollars. So who's got something that they want to say about that?
I had a couple of things that really came up. First one, particularly around the US pricing. So I know, for example, even when I came across you and I think Leonie, and at that time, I knew no one online doing any of this kind of thing, because it come from the corporate very much, you know, the office thing and the whole moving online thing was very, very new for me. And so I was delayed in joining, for example, boot camp and everything, because I had this real thing, but you're Aussie and you're charging US. And, you know, it was just with my mind. And then when you'd see other people and everything, and it was like, it took a little while for me to really understand that it's like, okay, yes, you can be in a country yet charge a different amount, because like I've experienced now, basically all of my clients are in America, and originally I was charging in Australian dollars and they didn't get it. They didn't get the confusion, and they were getting really kind of like, I can't work this out. And so then I had to change my pricing to US dollars to make it easier for them. But then on the flip side, and I think Sally might have covered this as well, it's like, then if people want to buy my courses or my products, I'm almost embarrassed, or I feel really uncomfortable, because it's just like, yeah, but that means they feel like they're paying more for the product, even though I know and I get it now that it's like you're pricing what you want it to be in the Australian equivalent, but then you price it at the US price for the conversion. So it kind of relates that way. But people, we don't get that over here, because I think as well in the personal development industry, and I think this is something that, you know, really had to do a lot of work on, is that, and particularly having a physical product business previously, people are comfortable handing over money, particularly Australians or the people that I was around, definitely in the spiritual world, if they've got something physical in their hand, they're happy to pay the money. Whereas if it's something that's more of a coaching thing or, you know, like a course or information, they're like, yeah, but what am I really getting for this? And that exchange of money is really hard. And particularly, again, then coming from the spiritual world, people are like, yeah, but you can't charge for your gifts. You shouldn't be charging for that. You should be giving that away for free. And, you know, I remember even being at big mind, body, spirit festivals when I had my events there, and people will be saying, yeah, but why are they charging for this? And it's like, yes, but they've gone through a lot of education. They've gone through a lot of study. They've gone through a lot of this. And there's that whole education piece that I think we as Aussies are really sort of behind the 8 ball with the rest of like America and the UK with the whole personal development, online courses and all that kind of thing. And we don't really get that whole charging or paying in other currencies. At least that's definitely been my experience. So they're sort of really big things that I've encountered, experienced, and have really had to work on myself as well.
You're so right. The double whammy of the spiritual world combined then with we have to be down to earth and friendly and all that kind of stuff. And you just reminded me of something. I still think we don't charge GST to Australian customers. I think we actually eat it. Mark's probably listening. He can tell you. And I think that is because of that thing of thinking, oh, they're paying so much more. They're paying in US dollars. So I can't ask them again to pay another 10% on top of that. And so I'm pretty sure we still just pay that on their behalf. So I totally get it. And making that transition was really big for us as well. But you're right. A lot of our American customers, they won't buy if it's not in their currency because it's too much unknown for them. Whereas, you know, Australians kind of a little bit more used to it. But yeah. And what's an affirmation you think that is going to be good for you, Michelle?
I think it's safe for me to receive, or it's safe for me to be compensated for my gifts. I think that's a really big one because, you know, there is that whole stigma about, but if you give this, you should just be giving it or sharing it for free. And so I think that's a really big one for me at the moment. It's like it's been such a huge transition and mindset shift as well from charging for physical products as opposed to charging for your knowledge and being worthy to accept that people will pay you for your knowledge. So that's a really big thing for me. So I think it's definitely around that. It's safe for me to receive or be compensated for my knowledge.